Hello and welcome. I'm Aloni Bhatt, and this is a special conversation with one of the jury members of the ZS Prize. ZS is a management consulting and technology firm focused on transforming global healthcare and beyond. Founded in 1983, ZS has over 12,000 employees in 35 offices worldwide. Now, the aim of the ZS Prize is to identify groundbreaking ideas which can potentially solve some of the complex challenges of healthcare access, affordability in India at scale. Today, I'm pleased to welcome one of the jury members of the ZS Prize, Aarti Shah. Aarti serves on the boards of various companies and nonprofit organizations. Currently, she's on the boards of NVIDIA Corporation and Northwestern Mutual. She has worked at Eli Lilly and Company for nearly 28 years and served in several functional and business leadership roles, most recently as Senior Vice President and Chief Information and Digital Officer. Aarti Shah, thank you so very much for your time today.
Thanks, Melanie. Thank you very much.
Aarti, I want to start by focusing on some of the healthcare challenges. The big theme of ZS Prize is solving for India. And India, as the pandemic has exposed, has a lot of challenges when it comes to healthcare, starting with information, access, affordability. In your view, what are the top challenges for India where innovation can help us reap incremental?
Yeah, so there are a number of challenges, but let me start with saying that every challenge also offers a humongous opportunity. Okay, so I always like to see things in terms of what are the opportunities too. But as you see, there are a number of them. But what are some of the main challenges India faces from a healthcare perspective? And my perspective is coming from an outside in also, having been in United States and seeing that healthcare, but being very connected to India and coming every year over here and seeing the changes that have happened. I would say there are a few main ones. First and foremost is the limited access to what I'm going to call quality healthcare, okay? Quality healthcare and inadequate infrastructure to kind of get and receive healthcare. Secondly, it's affordability. You spoke about that, and we can kind of go deep dive into each one of them. The third is, I don't believe, in my opinion, or I've not seen, but there is minimal to no emphasis on preventive healthcare in India, on prevention. And I participated in one of the global health conferences last year that was sponsored by the API group, the Association of American Physicians of Indian Origin. And one of the key themes was under prevention. So I can see that that's one of the challenges too. The fourth piece is going to be around women leadership and women healthcare, and I do want to talk about that. Just maybe give a little bit more color onto that. And the fifth area would be an area where, whether it's a challenge or an opportunity, is around awareness and education. Okay, so if you click down on the 5 things I've said, we know, right, that the primary health centers and sub-centers, especially in the rural peripheries, are often understaffed. They lack the critical infrastructure and meet patient needs. Means you know that, you see it. So that is one of the challenges with the vastness of the country as well as the population. Affordability is the second stuff. And health insurance, I believe there is a significant percentage of our population which is uninsured, or even if they have the government-aided insurance in the rural population, I'm not sure it covers the test or the diagnostics that are required, the medications. So then adherence becomes a huge problem, right? So think about that. Prevention, I can tell you, means there is minimal to no emphasis, and there's a huge part of education here, because prevention is the best remedy. If we can do certain things from a prevention perspective, as we see rise in some of the basic stuff, right? Whether it's hypertension, diabetes, certain cancers, all that stuff. So many of those can be prevented if caught at the right time, or if you intervene. The fourth point I just wanted to emphasize was on women leadership and women and healthcare around women. I believe, but you can correct me, but I believe that in every society and every socioeconomic sector, women play a very important role. And we call them that the women are generally the CMOs in the household, the chief medical officer of the household, okay? The decisions that are made and all of that stuff. So the question is, what kind of role models do we have? Do we need to do something? Is it a challenge over here to kind of beef up that in terms of women leadership roles, especially in healthcare. While you can have a majority of the nurses or the midwives being women, but when it's about policy making, decision making, in terms of influencing, do we have that kind of women power that can carry and make a difference? I also read somewhere, I believe that there was a research conducted by the Ames Institute as well as Harvard University, and only 37% of women receive healthcare in India. And there are, I know, various initiatives focusing on enhancing that, but it's a huge challenge as well as an opportunity. And the last one is just adequate awareness and education around healthcare. I believe that that is a huge opportunity that we have here in our country.
Aarti, you really drilled down on the challenges and, of course, the opportunities that they present to us. So, there is a huge, large, wide landscape for, innovators to come in and to really reimagine the way these systems function and the way healthcare is delivered. And so when it comes to trends and emerging growth opportunities in the Indian healthcare sector, which are the ones that you're most excited about?
Yeah, talk about technology, right? Technology, we think about which sector has not been disrupted by technology, and healthcare is so prime. Think about just the last 2 or 3 years during the COVID times. I actually saw across the world, okay, there was abundance of innovation that we came up with because it was a race against death, right? We had to win. The crisis was so severe, and the amount of innovation that came about, the way technology was leveraged was phenomenal. I think the question for all of us is we manage that moment, okay? But how do you continue that momentum? How do you continue that sense of urgency? How do you continue with bringing that kind of innovation, which is going to improve human health, improve patient outcomes? So to your question, number one is, of course, as India continues to focus on being more and more self-reliant when it comes to healthcare, we are likely to see more tech-enabled innovation. And when I kind of say technology, I'm bringing the three pieces together. It's technology, data, and advanced analytics. Okay, so it's the intersection of all three where we need to unleash that potential for that innovation. So whether it's in terms of patient outcomes, whether it's about telemedicines, how do we reach the most remote patient? How do you bring care make it more patient-centric? And of course, increase efficiency and productivity. The second piece, I believe there's a huge opportunity for non-invasive diagnostic tests, right? Huge opportunity over there. Digital health, everybody talks about it, but digital health, the medicine, yes, of course, the pill or the medicine is important, but everything connected around it. How do we leverage that? What are some of the behavior modifications that can go hand in hand? And very important is small percentage changes, uptick in adherence, okay, has huge impact on patient outcomes. So I think those are opportunities, all a lot tech enabled, I would say, that is in front of us. The other part, as you look at global economics and all that stuff, the market opportunity in India is just amazing. I think I've some of the reports, you just see that exponential growth, and what some of the predictions are for 2025 and 2030 are significant. So I think the opportunity is huge just from a market perspective and business perspective. And India is the hub for tech, come on, which multinational company doesn't have or rely or has some kind of partnership with Indian companies? So I'm more talking about the talent that resides here. So why not put some of that talent when it comes to adoption of advanced analytics, AI, ML, all of that stuff into solving some of the big, audacious healthcare challenges of this country by our innovative talent, right? So those are the things, those are the thoughts around that question.
Yeah, you speak about solving for India, building for the world. Literally, it's that. A lot of opportunities that exist. Are you seeing Indians? Are you seeing people in India leverage all of these chances, all of these opportunities that are available from your vantage?
I think I have a mixed answer on that. And maybe its answer is probably no, because I think there lacks the awareness. Okay, the education and awareness needs to be an important part of solving any of these big problems. And is the potential there? Is there an opportunity? Yes, but is it being fully exploited, fully leveraged? No.
But do you see that as just a matter of time?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a matter of time. And I think this is where platforms like ZS Prize, right, means it elevates the whole thing. The whole healthcare system in any country, it's more like an ecosystem.
Right.
And how can we, through different engagements, and I believe that ZS Prize is an awesome platform to kind of bring all the different players in the healthcare ecosystem, because the world that we live in and the future where we are going is all about collaborations and partnerships. No one company, no one academic center, no one regulatory agency, no one is going to be able to solve the problems. We have to collaborate and work together, right? So how often do you see where here is a problem and you can have 2 or 3 minds come together, and maybe, you know, when you have 2 or 3 different innovative ideas, maybe that can start pulling together and create a ripple effect to kind of build something big. So that's what I see.
And that's what attracted you to the ZS Prize, you know, especially in terms of ZS Prize, as you pointed out, playing a catalyst for advancing healthcare innovation in India.
So there are couple of things that attracted me to ZS Prize, and I did not even hesitate when they asked me to be a part of this esteemed jury that they have had. And as they walked me through, you know, what was the first edition, second edition, and the excitement that was there. I think topmost for me is the purpose and focus. Okay, for 28 years being in healthcare, for me, it's the patient, the patient, the patient. As we used to call it, the patient is waiting. And given ZS Prize, that whole platform is focused on healthcare. It's focused on building solutions or supporting, enabling these innovative ideas that can solve some of the big problems. At the end of the day, we all have to remember that it is going to improve lives of patients and the entire support system, the family. So the patient focus is what I like, and the purpose. So that's what drew me, number one. Second is the platform, the ability to bring, right, as I talked about, the ecosystem together, which is wonderful and great way to have people from startups, entrepreneurs, working professionals, students, professors come together. And we need that. The third piece is, you know, it's not just, okay, come with the projects and then what? I love that there is so much thinking put into it, and they are also making it a learning organization that, okay, what can we learn from the first edition and even make it better? But the mentorship and coaching that will be provided, which is superb. We need more role models, right? All of us who have been in healthcare have been successful. There's an opportunity for us, I call it, to reach back and pull forward, and mentoring, coaching the next generation just a little bit means they have the energy, they have the passion, just a little bit of direction can go a long way. And the backing from a funding perspective, very important. You know, one piece is, yeah, come up with great ideas, all that stuff, but there's a thought out process that, yes, the top 3, the top 5, whatever it is, there's the backing from a funding perspective to test some of these ideas and then to scale. So those are the things that attracted me the most, and I'm very much looking forward to being part of this. And for someone who has been away from homeland for 34 years, this is my way of also giving back to the country that I got so much from. So there's a personal fulfillment over here that I can give back in this way.
You know, as you said in your own words, reaching back and pulling forward. So, you know, I'm sure all the participants are going to benefit greatly by your experience. Aarti, now I have the last 2 questions for you. You know, let's focus on the participants. Sure. What are you looking for, you know, in terms of ideas, in terms of innovation from participants? And, you know, I'd also like to add another point to it. what sort of advice would you give to aspiring participants for solving for healthcare in India, which is the theme of CS?
Great question. So my advice to the participants and what I'll be looking for, I'm going to merge the two questions into one, if that's okay, is I would say dream big, okay? Dream big, go after the big problems. I'm not going to say but I'm going to say and. Sprinkle it with a dose of realism, okay? So dream big, have those audacious goals, but also there needs to be a dose of reality. Okay, very much into the mindset of my advice would be is incubate, pilot. There should be the MVP kind of mindset. What's the minimal viable product so that we can iterate on it, but scaling, how would you scale, right? So that's going to be the execution is also going to be important. I would say I always look in projects, of course, technology, don't make technology the main point. Technology is an enabler, right? It enables certain things to get to the desired endpoint or outcome. So be very clear on what is the outcome, the desired outcome. And then how are you leveraging technology, data, advanced analytics, AI, all of that stuff? Because while those are all jazzy, sexy things, those are all means to an end. So I never want people to forget why you are doing what you're doing. That purpose is very important. Risk, any project, any innovator, anybody presenting has to be able to say any project will have risk. Okay, identify the risk that you see, but also come up with what are some of the risk mitigation strategies. Okay, so you own the risk mitigation strategies. So those are kind of the things I'll be looking forward as to how are they leveraging today's tech to solve some of the problems and how that impact would be. Are they scalable? Are they affordable? All of those things. As I said, the other advices I have is, this was some advice I got and I kept that through as I was going through my career. Dream big, start small and move fast. So that was the advice I got and I loved it that, okay, just don't then sit and roll around the ideation, but start small, but move fast. So you are learning and iterating that. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think ego is a big thing. Okay, so you have to be able to have this piece of humility that I don't know it all. And seeking for help is a strength, is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness, in my opinion. And when I mentor coach people, I tell them so many times that seeking for help is really being more aware, knowing your limitations, and that humility that I don't know it all. We all have to come together and play together, right? The last part I will say is be ready for failures. Means it's a given. You are going to fail, but your success will be measured on your ability to how fast you can get up. You fail, you get up, you fail and get up, because that's going to test your perseverance, your passion, and your purpose. Keep the patient as the North Star. Keep the patient as the North Star. You are doing this for a superb purpose. Anyone working in healthcare, I kind of say it's not for the faint of heart. Okay, you need to have that courage and the perseverance that, yes, I'm here to make a bigger impact in society and to mankind. So those are some of my thoughts and advice to the participants.
Patience, perseverance, and passion. Wonderful, three very empowering words. And Aarti Shah, thank you so very much, for your thoughts and for your time today, and giving us a sense of, sort of laying out the landscape in terms of challenges, in terms of the emerging trends, in terms of, how we can leverage those strengths, and of course, thoughts for the participants. Thank you very much, and once again, we wish you all the best.